Hey, how y'all doing out there today? Listen, with all this talk about 5G and all the superpowers that seem to be playing their war games again, we've been having urban unrest drills around major cities like Sydney and Los Angeles. There's been reports that that was at over a dozen cities worldwide, and we all look up at the skies and we see them spraying, and we hear about this chaff that they can use to blot out an area off radar or from satellites. And a lot of people wonder where their cell phone or the 5G thing fits in. And before I get started, everybody knows that 5G is no good. We're actually on a frequency with the planet and all the other living things. It's about 7.83 hertz, I believe, if I ain't mistaken, maybe 7.89 hertz. And we're looking at 3G, 4G, 5G, and we've evolved into this. I think they've kind of got us used to it and keeping it going. And so we got to pay attention to that as well. But the biggest part of it that I wanted to point out was the 5G part and the weather warfare and how the placement of the 5G is around there. And so here we go. Notice where all the 5G setups are concentrated. They're all concentrated on the coastlines, and look at Louisiana. Louisiana is completely covered. This is the Gulf of Mexico area. So all the 5G is set up around the waterways in the Gulf of Mexico, our coastlines, our defense system from weather warfare. If you ain't noticed, since 2005, the Chinese have been playing with heart. They've been playing with this weather warfare. We had Katrina, 2011. The Chinese were mad at Japan and General Electric making military deals. All of a sudden, they shot a big frequency into that rift line in the Pacific, caused a tsunami. Then you had Fukushima. Remember that Fukushima was built by General Electric. They are playing weather warfare games around us. But here, since the 5G, remember the big hurricane that was coming to North Carolina, and the first 5G testing area was going to be North Carolina and Oregon, and how that hurricane came to the coast and just went up, dissipated. Yeah, everybody got a little bit wet, but it was nowhere near the monster that they thought it was going to be. The 5G system, in fact, is a defense for weather warfare. It's on our coastlines. You can't deny this. You can't deny the concentration of these setups and where they are. It's all up and down the East Coast. It's basically protecting their pipelines and their energy sources down there near Houston and Louisiana, their oil reserves, all through California where they're drilling and fracking. It's how they're protecting their energy infrastructure and keeping it real with the other countries that have this technology. So it's basically a defense. Yes, it's no good. Yes, it's going to hurt us. Yes, it can be used for all other types of things, from mind manipulation to communication, as they claim it's being used for, but it's not for communication. It's not so you can get better service. It's a lot closer and a lot more concentrated in the cell towers. It is more on an individual basis. It is higher frequency of microwave that can just literally burn you because of all the aluminum in your body. So I'm sure there's several applications. I'm not denying that. I'm not saying the sole purpose is for defense against the weather wars that the superpowers are playing with. But look at it. Pay attention to it. Watch how hurricanes come next hurricane season. Just really look at the things that are going on around you other than the story they give you. Because 4G was being used to locate and communicate with deep subs. Matter of fact, all these microwave frequencies since we got off digital communication has been basically to hide their military signal in the world largest communication device, the cell phone and the cell phone frequency. They hid their military signal so they could communicate with their deep sea subs, because these deep sea subs are the only thing that holds nuclear weapons. They are our national defense, and they don't need to come to the surface all the time to get signals anymore. This is why you're seeing a lot of beached whales, seeing a lot of burned fish. You've seen all these weird things where a beam comes down into the water and then all of a sudden there's a whole school of fish that winds up dead on the shore and they all look burned or whatever. They've seen burned dolphins, they've seen burned whales. Animals run on frequencies, and these unnatural frequencies going around are bad. But we really need to know why they're doing it and all the reasons that they're doing it. I'm sure there's more. There are so many applications, evil applications to 5G, that is unreal. I don't even want to think about it. Especially the mind manipulation, making people paranoid, making them depressed, making them sad, making them suicidal. They practice with these weapons over there in the Middle East during the Middle Eastern wars. Fallujah was one of those places. They literally sent microwave signals in, and people were just running out of their houses, paranoid and fighting back where they probably wouldn't even done it. So you got to look at what's going on. The weaponized technology that seems to be all around us. They have a mini drone that can just facially recognize you and just take your head out with 3 grams of explosives. They got all kind of ways of killing us. But once again, this is where I'm going to stop, and I'm going to go back to a major point. We always seem to concentrate on what kills us. We're not concentrating on how to live. And how to live through this is our brotherhood, is awareness, is knowing what they're doing, is knowing what we need to put down, what we can use and can't use and don't need to use. We need to see how we're being played against each other. So the people that seem to have taken control of this earth and want to run it their way, so we can stop them. Because we all know it's wrong. We know everything we're doing right now is wrong, or it's misguided, or it's for profit to make us sick, or to make us just the tax slaves that they want. A lot of things are coming together, and they're trying to control the weather for a lot of reasons, because the earth's going through some natural changes. And whether we make it or not is no big deal compared to they think they can stop it, and they're actually making some things worse. But as they create this technology from the days of Nikola Tesla, who invented Wi-Fi, and using electricity and frequencies through the air, they found other applications. As evil men do, they'll use them for evil purposes. And we need to stop that. We can't just sit back and say, oh, well, I got to have my cell phone. I got to have it for business. I got to have it for school. Well, let me let y'all in on a little secret. Before the 80s, nobody had a cell phone, and we all had plenty of good. We had better businesses. More people worked. People were smarter. People were healthier. People thought better. People did more physical social involvement. There you go. Before the digital age, we were just fine. Since then, it has been one wild dog and pony show. And it's one of them roller coasters I want off of. So let's be wary about what's going on. Let's talk about the things we do know about. Ask questions about the things we don't. And let's not bicker so much about applications. Let's point out the many applications of all these things that they're using right now. The vaccines, the food, the water, the medicine, the frequencies. All these things are being used in detrimental ways when they could be being used for positive ways. That's my point. I don't care what you believe in or what side you stand on. If you're not standing on the side of life, then you're anti-life. And I'm sorry to say it, y'all. You're on their side, because they only deal in anti-life. So let's live. Let's unite. Let's find things to live for and reasons to stop things for the good reasons to stop them. Not a political reason, not a religious reason, not even an opinion. The fact that if it's killing us, it needs to go away. Think about that. I love y'all. Peace, and don't live in fear.